Howdy and hello to everybody. I thought I'd give my followers a little bit of an update. Um, People have been following for a while know that my mother is in a home dying of dementia. Her mental capacity is diminishing rapidly. That's what the disease does. I apologize for being shirtless, but I was just rolled up the window, turned on the air conditioning, so I'm still a little hot and sweaty. Um, but I thought I'd give you a little update on how horrific that disease is. I've been trying to be in contact with my mother via phone for easily 4 or 5 months. It's probably been that long since I've talked to her. I've probably called her 100 times and no answer. The phone would ring. She does not know how to answer the phone, and the I don't know how to even phrase this, but the person that should be checking on her regularly has made no effort to initiate the conversation between me and my mother. So I had pretty much given up, and she lives with stops and fuel breaks and stuff, probably 10, 12 hours away, closer to 12 most likely. But so I got a random text from my mother's stepdaughter, and she advised me she had talked to her on the phone. I thought that was really odd because I had no luck myself, and she told me she's going to be visiting her in about a month, and she lives about 3 or 4 hours away from there, and sometimes she travels out of town. So she gave me a specific date I'm not going to share, but said she was going to visit her. I had said she sounds healthy and good. So that was nice. We didn't really have much conversation because it kind of always goes down the same path, to be honest with you. But so after sitting around mulling for a little while, I said, well, let me take my shot. I doubt this is going to work. So I called, and she answered. So it seems like I'm not an expert on the disease, but it seems like she comes in and out of functionality, I guess you could say, or but right away you could tell the disease has pretty much taken her. She kept thanking me for visiting her, and I hadn't visited her, in a long time. Never at that facility. She was moved away from where I was, keeping her fed and healthy at her own house for a while. But she just kind of kept thanking me for visiting her. And I kind of slightly reminded her, I said, well, we've only been talking for a couple minutes. In the South, visiting can mean like visiting on the phone. That's not what she meant. And then she always refers back to this. It's weird how the memory can grasp on certain parts of your life. And the last time we had talked, she kept telling me she was going to be going back to Wilmington tomorrow. And Wilmington, Delaware is where we lived. It's where she bought her first house like 40 years ago, over 40 years ago now. I want to say she purchased that in 1983, something like that. thereabouts. And so she tells me she's going back home to Wilmington again. And she had been living in, well, she's been living in Florida for 40 years. And her brain only remembers Wilmington, Delaware. So she keeps thinking she's going back to Wilmington, Delaware tomorrow, and she's worried about her luggage. She's always had this luggage obsession. I had done some videos talking about the luggage and that malady everybody had at one time, back around 2020, whatever it was. And so it was like a really terrible situation, the whole luggage conversation. So she was telling me that she didn't know what she was going to do for luggage. So I felt bad for doing what I did, but I also wanted to make sure she doesn't start doing some crazy things, and it's still possible. But I told her, no problem, I'll take care of the luggage. You'll have it tomorrow. And she's like, really? You're going to deliver it? I said, I may not deliver it, but I'll make sure you get it. And the whole time I knew I was not telling the truth. But in 5 minutes, she's going to forget all that, most likely. So that comes and goes. That thought process, that I don't know what you call it, like her instinct to return to Wilmington, Delaware. That's pretty much. She was born in France, but she knew that most of her life. So she's 93, and you minus whatever, the 40 some years, so she spent more time in, well, she didn't move here until she was 18, so it's been pretty much equal, but she remembers Wilmington, Delaware for some reason. That's the impression on her, or what's left of her brain. And so I just thought I'd give an update. If I'm not mistaken, time's gotten away from me here. So 33, she's like 93. Yeah, 93. I think December 18th she turns 94. It kind of blows my mind, to be honest with you. It really does. She can't walk anymore. She's telling me. I already knew that. It's been like that for a while. Everything she does is in a wheelchair, and I know what she was like before I left where she lived. It's been almost exactly 2 years, and her whole life is just laying in the bed and sleeping. They'll come in and wake her up, give her medication, and give her food. She goes back to sleep. She doesn't even watch TV, doesn't even listen to a radio. It's just kind of like staring at the ceiling. It's just, that is so sad. That really is sad. But that's the realities of the disease called dementia. So I just thought I'd share with you guys. She's had so many problems with her health. I'm just blown away that she's made it this far, this long. I would definitely say the last several years have not been a high quality of life for her. I do not wish that for her, but I wish she'd be out of that situation. It's really a sad situation, but I just thought I'd share. that's, some of the realities of the disease called dementia. And sorry for my appearance, but I was just being a river man and wanted to share while I could remember. And I'm sorry. It's a sad disease.